Hello, and welcome to the Internet Marks review of Minecraft the movie, starring Jack Black, Jason Momoa, Jennifer Coolidge, Emma Myers, Sebastian Hansen, and Danielle Brooks. So I I saw this film with my daughter. For context, we were both looking for a movie to watch, and the only thing out at the moment was the Minecraft movie. It's pretty dirge out there for films for children in between, holidays and half terms and so forth. So it was pretty much the only film out, and so I know I'm 4 or 5 weeks late to the party, but I thought I'd do a review on the film because I've seen it, and Minecraft is pretty much the only film out for children, dare I say it. Looking at the listings, there wasn't much. For full context, neither of us are into Minecraft. I'm the generation that preceded it, without saying my age, and she's the generation after it, without saying her age. But so neither of us have ever played Minecraft, are into it. I have always sort of looked at it from afar and thought, what is that? I don't understand it. I remember seeing a documentary by Charlie Brooker, the creator of Black Mirror, who, after I wasn't mean about it, but I was like, I don't understand that game. That's so weird. It's perplexing. And this was an era where there was no sort of out there games or sort of cozy games or anything like that. What is it, mid to late 2000s or something, when it was first sort of on the scene. I remember seeing Charlie Brooker explain his passion for it and how he had seen children predominantly with learning difficulties and sort of introverted children express themselves or be able to express themselves using the game. And I instantly shut my mouth and sort of just that, well, okay, it's fine. And that game, the game took on a new explanation for me, and I sort of relaxed a bit about it ever since then. And then it gained in popularity, was amazingly popular, and then my little brother was massively into it when he was younger, and so again softened my stance on it and sort of accepted it as a game in itself. And now look, it's a behemoth of a franchise, and it's one of the most popular, best-selling games of all time. And here we have the movie equivalent. I'll get into the plot. I'll do my very best, and I'll explain why, because Minecraft is a game that I don't believe has a lot of plot. They just have things in it, and I know that might be dismissive or controversial. Apologies to anyone who does like Minecraft. From the far, it doesn't look like one with a plot or a synopsis. So I went into this completely cold. I did no research on Minecraft before going into it. I just watched it and tried to experience it for what it was. Here is my plot summary for you. So Jack Black plays Steve, who is basically is a guy who always liked digging, and when he was a kid he couldn't dig, and then he grows up, and when he grows up he can dig, and so one day he digs down an abandoned mine, and when he does that he stumbles into another realm, dimension, sort of another place of origin called the Overworld, where lots of quirky, interesting things inhabit that world during the day, and then at night that changes, and skeletons and zombies basically take over, and they rule the world. In this world you can dig and you can create anything you want, a la the Lego movie, so that sort of message is there. The power of creativity and positive messaging in that regard. And Steve gets stuck there for reasons I can't he gets captured by the villain. Cut to Jason Momoa, now playing a washed up 80s gaming champion who is in debt and down on his luck, and he comes across a brother and a sister who've recently lost their parents, and a random real estate agent who just comes with them for some reason. I can't remember why. And that's it. And then things happen in the overworld. The villain, like I said, is a threat, and they want to use a MacGuffin that Jack Black explains to open a portal to come into the real world, I think. Anyway, I don't think the plot is actually that important, and I don't mean that in a mean way. I just mean it's. What do I think of it, essentially? Well, it doesn't really matter what I think of it, because much like, people who've watched this channel for a couple of videos at least will know that I love Marvel Comics, and therefore so do I love the films as well, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And this is a film such as that's made for the fans who like Minecraft. And so it doesn't matter what I think. They're not going to care what I think one way or the other anyway. I have been told very reliably by lots of people who do play the game and adore the game that if you're a fan of this film, if you're a fan of the game, the film gets all of the mythology or the lore, or most of it, right. It sticks very close to the game itself in terms of the rules of it, like I said, the mythology, the MacGuffins and the items and the characters that you see and encounter during the game. And I'm reliably told, like I said, that hits all bases, and that's a positive in its favour. So it's hitting with the audience that it's intended to hit with. I can attest to younger members of the audience loving it and loving seeing the fun movie, the sort of, the silly pratfalls and the one-liners and the moments in the film that I laughed at as well. I'll be honest, it was a fun movie, and I don't mean that in a dismissive way. I just mean from what I saw and what I encountered, it was a fun movie. And I can vouch for parents being safe in the knowledge that it's a film that is very kid appropriate. There's nothing controversial in the film, bar maybe the sort of scary moments when the night turns. And there's one potential moment where one of the characters looks to be perished. Other than that, I think it's very kid safe film. My overall thoughts. So again, like I said, it doesn't really matter what I think, because fans of the movie are going to love it. Fans of the game are going to love it. My thoughts on the film itself. As I said, the film's very fun. There are some funny moments in it that I really enjoyed. I can't remember the plot, to be fair, but I don't think it matters. The Lego Movie, for example, is one I really like, and I think that did have a more narrative type plot to follow, and I could recount to you now, but I won't. But that said, whatever, it's a fun film. The world is really colourful and bright until it isn't, and the characters are really good on screen together. I think Jack Black and Jason Momoa are having a really good time. And crucially, the film isn't that long either, which as a parent, like I said, is a huge plus as well. And yeah, those are sort of my overall thoughts. But again, it's not really tailored to me. It's tailored to the audience that love it. And that personally, as an outsider, I couldn't follow the plot strands at all. And I struggled, like I said, to recount for this review what happened and why they happened. Is that a negative? It probably is, but I don't think it really matters too much, to be perfectly honest with you. Again, I think the humour in it is really great, and about halfway through the movie, I thought, weirdly, this film is reminding me of something in terms of the way they were interacting and the sort of the level of humour. I couldn't put my foot. I was thinking, what does it remind me of? So when I got out the screen, I quickly googled the makers of the film and the director, and it's the same director as Napoleon Dynamite, a film which I absolutely love. Which is off the wall, random and quirky as anything. And so yeah, that made me happy to know that why the funny bits work for me is because it reminds me of a film I absolutely adore. So I was, and it's not just because I'm old, again, not just because I'm old, but it was a film that I enjoyed the humour in it because it reminded me of Napoleon Dynamite, which big thumbs up for me. So it is a recommendation from me for a film that, as a parent, is really inoffensive, it's funny, and it will entertain your kids. So just don't ask me to recite the plot or the numerous items in it that they recount to you, or Jack Black does specifically. And now if we're talking Marvel films, let's start with the history of Mjolnir, the legendary hammer of Thor, which was first forged by brothers.